Dan Sebastian here with my co-host S.A. Baz Collins for this week's Written on the Edge Season 10 Episode 44 interview. We'll be talking with Richard Sargent and discussing his book, The Ultimate Chick Flick Cookbook. So let's get to know our guest. Rich was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Some of his earliest memories are sitting in front of the TV after school watching reruns of Chiller Theater with his mom. You can blame her for his obsession with horror films. He's an award-winning actor, director, producer, playwright, and filmmaker. You can find some of his short LGBTQ themed plays published on Amazon via Left Coast Publishing. His short film Meat was released in the horror anthology World of Death. It is a subtle exploration into the mind of a vegan. Nah, he's just kidding. It's torture porn with hamburgers. He has always been interested in creative cooking. His day jobs were in restaurants and on food trucks. And after taking a few cooking classes here and there, he decided doing it for a living would take all of the fun out of it. A sentiment I agree with. So he decided to find a new way to make cooking fun, the Movie Cookbook Series, featuring the Horror Movie Night Cookbook, Book 1, and the Ultimate Chick Flick Cookbook, Book 2, which we're here to discuss today. When he isn't doing theater or cooking for his friends or watching films, he's singing and recording with the band he created with his husband, The Green Winter. You can listen to their music on iTunes and Amazon. Rich, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So how do you keep busy again?
Yeah, yeah, I know it's a lot of stuff. I do. I like to keep busy. I like to try a lot of things and
It's
see what
amazing.
sticks.
Well, it's amazing. So where did this passion to be a creative person come from? I mean, that's not an easy
Oh,
task.
I've always had a passion for it. Growing up, I would watch films and TV and listen to music and I'd want to be a backup dancer or all of these different things growing up, and I think it's weird too because my family was never they were always supportive of all the stuff that I would do. I would be in all the plays and all the choirs and things like that, but performing was never in my family, so or arts in general. So I'm not sure where it came from, but I knew the minute I set foot on stage that I wanted to be a performer in some way, be artistic in some way.
Love it. Well, let's introduce your new book, The Ultimate Chick Flick Cookbook, and we'll talk a bit about the series
Yeah.
afterwards. But let's show people yeah, there it is.
Yeah, this is my copy. Sorry, it's a little beat up, but yeah, this is the cover is actually different now. It doesn't look quite like this. Got a little revamp, but
Ooh.
it's still the same book inside. Um, but yeah, it's uh, it's my second book in the movie cookbook series that I started a few years back.
So if I were to come to like a movie event and you were to be on a table with a bunch of the books in front of you and a big pen, and I picked it up, I was like, what could I expect from this book? What would you tell me? What's your elevator pitch?
So this book is a little bit about what I learned from chick flicks, mixed in with your uh, with within a recipe cookbook, a movie cookbook. So like when they cook something or eat something in a film, I try to recreate it. If that's not in there, if there's no important food element, I am inspired by something else, maybe a character, maybe a place, maybe where the movie takes place, a local dish or something like that. So I try to make it an authentic experience where the reader can cook the dish inspired by the film, sit down, watch the film, and feel like they're part of the film.
Okay.
So that is what I try to do with all of my books, and including the chick flick one.
So I get the recreations, but let's take an inspiration one that where there wasn't specifically a dish in the film. Do you have one you can share with us and tell us the story behind it?
Yeah, so yes, so one of my favorite recipes in the Ultimate Chick Flick Cookbook is for the movie Girls Trip. It takes place in New Orleans, and it is a a wild comedy. But I was inspired by New Orleans itself.
Is that the one with
There's a
Tracy Haddish?
scene. Tiffany Haddish, yeah,
Tiffany,
her
yeah,
and Queen
sorry.
Latifah and
Yep.
a bunch of other wonderful actresses. But it's inspired by a po' boy, um, and a scene where she teaches Jada Pinkett. Tiffany Haddish teaches Jada Pinkett how to grapefruit him. And I won't go into details as to what that is because I don't want to spoil anything, but it involves a grapefruit and a banana. And so I took that and I combined that into this savory, sweet shrimp po' boy that was honestly one of the biggest hits that I did for my friends in these movie nights. They loved it. That's one of their favorites, and it's actually one of mine. And that's one that I highly recommend. It was more inspired by, not quite taken from.
That's awesome. So
Thanks.
you tested all these out on your friends, huh?
Oh, yes, yes. I've tested all of these recipes. They're hand tested, friend approved. Some of them obviously don't make the cut, but all the ones that are in the book made the cut and were approved.
All right. So how did you choose the films for this book?
I sat down with about, I don't know, 100 films, and I there were already several that I knew I wanted to put in there. Um, my personal favorites, things like that, things I know like the back of my hand.
Mhm.
But I wanted to rewatch some of the ones that I gave enough credit to that people seem to love. Um, so I went back and I rewatched those, and if I found that they were above average, if I found that there was an important element to them, something that they had to say other than just being a romantic
Mhm.
comedy, I put them in there. So, and they had to have a food element too, of course. That was, a big part of it, like Pretty Woman with the slippery little suckers and that sort of stuff. But it had to either it had to be something that there had to be something I learned from it, something I could connect to as an adult male, gay male, revisiting these films, and so
Mhm.
that's how I narrowed down which ones would be in there. And I have a list for a sequel.
Oh, nice.
Did
So
fried green tomatoes make the cut?
It didn't. Um,
Because that's got a lot of food.
it felt a little on the nose. It felt like you could go online and find a recipe for that anywhere. But I do think I want to. I think I want to put a little twist on it into my second
Yeah,
Chick Flick
absolutely.
cookbook.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I also thought
yeah,
you could do like the Mad Scientist cookbook and then do it all on sci-fi films and throw some of your experimental stuff that you aren't quite sure worked.
absolutely. That's a great idea. I do have a sci-fi one planned, so I'll revisit that. That's a good idea.
nice. So with the narratives of each, I mean, obviously you have the recipe. Do you go into film deconstruction at all? I mean, I know that's
No,
that could be
not
really
in this
heavy.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, in this one, not so much. I just try to tie the recipe to the film. I explain why I chose it, a little bit of, if it connects to me in any way, why I connected to the film
Mhm.
and what I learned about it. I don't really go into any sort of like um, deep dive into why the film is that important or that sort of thing for this one. Some coming up, I do dive more
Okay.
into the history of the film and why it's important. Like the
Nice.
cult classic one that's coming up in the future, I do dive into that one a
Nice.
bit. Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about the series then, because the Horror Night was out first, correct?
Yes, that's this one right here. This is my first one,
Love
Horror
it.
Movie Night Cookbook. Um, yeah, so that came to be because we were doing a group of my friends and I were doing the play The Woman in Black, and they happened to mention that they don't like horror, and I'm like, are you insane? There are so many important horror films out there. Let me teach you. So I invited them over. We did 3 movies a night, and I did a drink and a meal pairing with each film. And so we had an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert, as well as 3 drinks, 3 themed drinks a night. And about 5 movie nights in, they were like, "What are you going to do with this?" And I was like, "What do you mean? We're having a good time." And they were like, "No, no, no. Other people are going to want to do this." And I thought I was just, a weirdo. But I thought maybe I would do like local events. Maybe people would want to do like special events in their houses or things like that. But I thought that was too localized. So then I started putting it into a book, and it all just sort of flowed.
Hmm.
And so it turned into a book, and people seem to really like it, and I love getting all the pictures and videos of them recreating things, and it's really awesome.
That is fantastic. So you've teased a little bit about the upcoming books in the series. Cult classics,
Yeah.
sci-fi, anything you want to share yet?
Yeah, so two of them are actually coming out next year for sure. And that is a sequel to the Horror Movie Night Cookbook. A follow up. The fans of this one have been, DMing me and asking me, is another one coming? What about these movies? And so I'm gonna actually, it's done, and it's just getting edited for next year. And then the Cult Classics one is coming out next year as well. Right now, I also have a queer themed one. I was recently signed by an agency, and they picked up my queer themed one. That's also sort of a memoir, and it's also still going to be the cookbook. So it's a little bit of everything in that
Nice.
one. But I don't know for sure when that one's coming out. So those are the three that are coming up next, and I have a few more in the works as well, like the sci-fi one and a Mother's Day, Father's Day sort of
That's
film
cool.
one. Yeah, yeah. And children's one that you can cook. Kids can cook easy stuff with their parents and then go watch the movie, that sort of thing. So
Ooh, children's movies come and go so quickly. Like that would be tough to pick a classic.
yeah, I know. I have a really long list for that one because, and I love children's films. I think, a lot of them are really have beautiful messages and are done really well. Like, Flow last year and Wally and things like that are really wonderful films. And I think kids should see those. So, you know, it'll probably be easy for me to pick those, honestly, because it'll be
Okay.
movies that I think kids should see, not just your average, Road to El Dorado movie or whatever. So.
Have to ask, will the ham and eggs be green?
um, there are actually healthy ways to do that now, so maybe we'll see.
Love it. Well, okay, so is there anything, before we move on to your plays, anything else about the Ultimate Chick Flick Cookbook or the series in general you want people to know that we didn't ask?
No, just that it's available where you can buy your books, pretty much anywhere. The Chick Flick Cookbook is on Amazon, and so are the plays. But yeah, no, just keep looking out for more in the series because they're coming.
Love it. Love it. So let's talk about your anthology, Gay for Plays.
Yeah, yeah. Gay for Plays is, sorry, this one. Looks like that.
Okay. Love it.
Thank you, thank you. Um, I've been writing for theater for a long time, and I thought it would be good to uh, revisit some of the ones that have been produced across the country, and put my final touches on those. And so that's what I did. I took about 7 of them and I finalized them. I'm not going to change them again unless, a theater company that wants to produce them needs me to change something small. But for me, they're done. And I just wanted the world to read them now at this point in time because I feel like they're relevant and important. So, so I put those out there, and I'm really proud of them, and I hope people like them.
Love it. So that's something that theater companies can also reach out to you on if they want to produce one?
Absolutely, yeah. They can produce one individually or the whole series if they want to produce it as a whole evening of plays, gay
Perfect.
for plays.
Love that.
Thanks.
Anything else about your works you want to share?
Um, no, just that these plays are funny and emotional, and they're all queer themed, so they are of the moment, and they tell stories that I think aren't being told a lot, or misinformation is being spread about them. So I wanted to really dig into the stories of people that you're hearing wrong information about, or misinformation, and try to clear things up a little bit, and try to show people that compassion is very simple, and it can change somebody's life, and it can change your life. It's okay to learn new things and change and grow. So I feel like these plays are very important right now, even though some of them are just silly and funny, or you know um, I hope that people find some worth in them.
Well, so let's circle back to that because that does sound really important. Do you want to highlight one? Seriously, no, I'm serious. Do you want to highlight one that you think people really should see right now?
Yeah, I think my play, which the title just escaped me for some reason. Hold
You should go
on,
talk to the
sorry.
author and get the name of that.
It's called The Discharge, and it is about trans people being, specifically one trans individual being discharged from the army because they're trans, and they get sent home, and um, their mother basically pretends like none of this is going on, and pretends that she's not trans, and the dad's not even there. He leaves. It's a story between the child and the mother. The mother learning more about what this means, and how that can happen, and what being trans even is, and coming around in the end. So I think knowledge is what's going to bring people around in the end. So I wanted to highlight that with that play in particular. That's not one of the comedies.
No, but it sounds
But
beautiful.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there's a couple others in there that I think are pretty relevant. The Distraction, which is about the government putting out different ways to distract us from the real issues. Like in The Distraction, they're trying to make sodomy illegal again, that sort of thing, and instead of clearing up a water crisis. So things that have actually happened in the news. But yeah, so that's our country right now. But yeah, so things like that. There's a play called Thoughts and Prayers,
Oh,
which I'm sure you can imagine where that goes. But
yep.
it's yeah, so it's timely, and I hope that it's not this way forever.
Your lips.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Whew, deep breath. All right. Well,
Yeah.
after that seriousness, are you ready for some get to know you questions?
Sure. Absolutely.
Take it away,
Well,
Baz.
okay. Well, before we get to that, if you like what we're doing here, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. If you want to help support us financially to keep our ongoing journey of discovering these talents, to bringing them to your attention so that if you're looking for your next queer media purchase or to find out more about a given artist that we highlight, please consider going to buymeacoffee.com/rope podcasts. You can do a one-time throw the change in your couch money at us, or you can go to patreon.com/rope podcast, where we highlight our reactions, our full reactions that Albert and I do to queer movies and queer themed TV shows. Put the dentures back in. And then and the last way you can do it is our brand new YouTube channel membership. And that's only 99 cents a month. You get the full unedited, but only as a watch along. So we give you the first minute of what we're watching, and then we fade that out so you can sync up your copy along with what we're watching, and you can hear our commentary. And that's all for 99 cents. And we have the full TV series seasons going up, and what we have all of the movies that we've done already up there. So just consider that. It's less than $1 a month, and it really helps. And we very, very, very humbly thank you for it. So with all of that said, can you name a movie that was better than the book?
Mr. Movie Guy.
I can. I'm going back to being a little serious here, but Requiem for a Dream, I think,
Mm.
was an amazing film, near perfect film. Um, the book itself was great. It's a very hard read. Um, there's no real light moments in it, but in the film, they add a little comedy, which really balances the different tonal shifts that I think the book was going for, but didn't quite succeed. And I think the movie, with the editing and the music and the performances that were a masterclass. I mean, Ellen Burstyn should have won every award possible for her performance in that. I think it all adds up to just an absolute masterpiece. So,
All right. Well, which
and you
fictional?
really get
Go ahead.
you really get drawn into the world of an addict through all of that, through the editing and music as well. It really brings you into the different aspects of being an addict.
Yep. Okay. Well, which fictional character would you most like to be friends with?
I would like to be friends with Sidney Prescott. Um, I know that would be a lot of drama. I would have to fight for my life a lot. But she's just such a badass, and she's if she's got your back, you're gonna be fine.
Excellent. Okay. What's the most fascinating fact that you know?
So, movie related. Um, you may or may not already know this, but in the Matrix, the digital green digital rain was actually inspired by a Japanese cookbook. It was inspired by, those are all recipes. Actually, they just changed some of the characters to different languages, but it's all different recipes from a Japanese cookbook.
I
That's
did
very
not
cool.
know
that's
that.
That's
that's
very
what I
cool.
heard. I mean, I think it's true. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be true, but that is what I heard.
Excellent. I love that. Okay. What was your favorite subject in school?
um, I really like music class. Um, my school had one. I know a lot of them don't, but I had one. All through elementary school through high school, and I really enjoyed being able to try different instruments and expressing myself that way, and it was really cool. And I now know probably far too many useless instruments that do me no good, but I enjoyed it. It was really fun.
There are no useless instruments. Full stop.
Yeah,
Seriously, think about
I
like an
mean,
iconic song.
can't do much with the sousaphone.
Yeah, well, you might be. I mean, who thought you could do anything with a cowbell? But there it is in one of the most iconic
That's
Halloween
true.
songs ever.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
What I always found fascinating was that one where I don't know what they call it, but it's the big round thing and you pull on it and it makes like a weird cow sound. Have you guys ever heard of that one? They use it like in a lot of Latino music. You can hear it every now and then, or Zydeco. They use it a lot,
Ah,
and it's the weirdest fucking sound. But it's like I don't even know how it's done with that thing that they hold and they pull on this central piece to make that sound. But it's really hysterical, and
Can you
I
make the sound?
no, I don't. I wish I had a cue of it. It kind of, like I said, it sounds like a dying cow. I mean, it just does that sound, and they pull it, and it's really weird. But they use it in like Zydeco and island kind of music and stuff. I've heard it a lot of that. But yeah. Anyways, okay, back to
I
the
have to
list.
look that up.
Yeah, okay. Before making a telephone call, do you rehearse what you're going to say?
Yeah, I'm reading from notes right now, and I'm prepared for this. So,
This
yeah,
was the pop quiz I told you was going to happen.
I I'm so deathly afraid of making telephone calls. My husband will confirm that. I just hate it. I won't order pizza if somebody else is there to do it. Like
That's what
I
DoorDash
don't
is
know. I
for.
think texting has made me so. Exactly. There are ways to do it. There are ways you don't
Exactly.
have to interact with people. But I don't know why. Yeah, talking on the phone is not my jam.
Boy, that sort of horror film, sorry, wrong number, must be your ultimate nightmare.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, no, I can't. Can't do it.
All the children are, what the hell is that?
Right? Right?
Okay.
No.
All right. What current events or causes are you most passionate about?
Well, I think LGBTQ plus the lifestyle, anything involving that right now, I think it's very important to stay
Okay.
active and involved in any way we can. So there's no set like, hey, everybody donate to this cause. I try to do as much as I can um, with as many different causes that I can. So, but yes, I try to educate people on the truth behind what it means to be a queer person today. So.
My cat, sorry. She's
I've
video
been waiting
bombing.
for mine to jump up here.
She's video bombing us.
Oh.
All right. Thanks, Taki. Um, lie down. Come on. Oh, Lord. Now she's launched applications. Sidebar. Oh, my God. She launched multiple applications. Are you kidding me, Kat?
Okay, that's an amazing mug, Rich.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
That is awesome.
It's my husband's. Yeah, he plays all the guitars in our band, so.
Nice.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay, let me get my list back up. I have a stream deck here with multiple buttons, and when she gets kind of irritated with me, she'll reach down and tap her paw across multiple buttons, and she'll launch a whole slew of applications. Suddenly, I've got windows popping all over the place. All right.
You're supposed
Getting
to be
back.
involved.
I know. Yeah, exactly. She's got that whole Cecil B. DeMille, I'm ready for my close up now kind of action going on. All right. Getting back into it. If you could visit anywhere in the world, where would that be?
Yeah, so it's the beach from the beach,
Oh,
um, which is awesome because I'm actually going there in February. So I'm finally getting to go somewhere where I've wanted to go since I was a kid.
Awesome.
And I'm really looking forward to that. So,
yeah. That's amazing.
and I'll be playing Moby in my boombox as I, walk down into the beach. But
Okay. Well, who, if anyone, was your first celebrity crush?
yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer in Grease too.
Okay.
Was my first celebrity crush. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I realized later on that I actually wanted to be more like her, looking for a cool writer myself. But yeah, she was my first crush, and I think like at the same time I was probably equally as into Adrian Zemed from Grease 2, but I don't know. Looking back, I'm not sure if that was real. It probably was, but I tried to like push it down, you know.
Uh-huh.
So the whole cast of Grease 2 is my answer to
Okay.
that.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. And finally, probably the most appropriate question for you. What's your personal favorite recipe that you make, and are you willing to share it with us?
Yes, I have a very easy recipe for tiramisu that I love, and I really like experimenting with the different flavors you could use other than the chocolate coffee flavor of your traditional tiramisu. So I've made like pina colada and different berry flavors of it, and it's in lemon, and it's very very adaptable, and it's very simple, and I could definitely share that with you.
I think it'd
Do you
be
want me to
funny
share
if
it with you
it
now?
yeah, oh, yeah, if you want to. Yeah, go ahead.
Or you could email it to me and I'll include it on your page with this interview.
There
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
let me do that. I'll do that.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. Well, you made it through our list. Bravo.
Nicely done.
Yay!
So, do you have a social where you are most active and people can reach out, see what you're doing, what the announcements are, and interact with you?
Yeah, I think my Instagram is probably what I'm most active in. I'm learning the other ones. I tried putting it off as much as possible, but I'm on TikTok and I'm on Threads and all that now. So I'll give you those links as well. But the Insta that I'm most active in is at Movie Cookbook Series. And so people can follow me there, and I post updates anytime I'm doing a tour, or I have a new book coming out, or if I just want to, I see an amazing movie at the theater and I'm inspired to create a bonus recipe, I throw that on there. And so, yeah, that's my way to stay in touch with what I'm doing with the cookbooks.
Perfect. Love it. Do you have any final words of wisdom?
Oh,
Because I got to be smart now.
I have to be wise.
Oh my goodness. Words of wisdom. This, for me, this was all about trial and error, sticking with something, and uh, it just one day clicked. So my words of wisdom would be, if you're inspired to do something, just do it and do it and do it until it clicks for you. Don't give up. Just keep trying, and one day it'll all work out, if it's meant to.
May I make an observation of wisdom?
Sure.
What you have created is something this world sorely lacks these days, and that is an experience of togetherness. Movies, meals, you bring people together through your work, and that is one of the most amazing things that drew me to wanting to interview you. So,
Oh, well, thank you very much. That is one of my goals of these books. That's how they started, bringing my group of friends together, and to know that people are out there doing it with their groups of friends, cooking together, and experiencing these films together, and creating memories. I was told that fans of mine use the horror cookbook recipes as their pre-wedding rehearsal dinner. They used all recipes from my book, and that's things like that are like blow my mind, and I love that people are responding positively to this and out there creating their own memories with it. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
thank you. And folks, we'd like to extend a huge thank you to Richard Sargent for joining us today. Rich, thank you so much for what you're putting into the world and for coming and telling us about that.
Thank you, and thank you for what you're putting into the world, and for letting us all come on and share our experiences with you.
That is our extreme pleasure. All right, folks, we at Written on the Edge are proud to introduce you to new media by queer content creators. So if you enjoy learning about new artists or hearing our thoughts on entertainment media, please like and subscribe so you get the alerts for new episodes. The show was produced by Rogue Ravens Media. For our disclaimers, links to social media, our listening stations, or to sign up as a guest, visit www.roguepodcast.com. Tune in next week for your queer media fix.
Bye now.
Closing time. The bums rush in melody, dear.